Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I am the lead beat writer for your Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I am so grateful to be joining you today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Arizona State media is just recently out of what was an eventful practice on Wednesday, the final availability for media to watch the team ahead of the Saturday season opener against Northern Arizona. And the 11th ranked Sun Devils look like they are absolutely ready to take the season into their own hands. We are now just 3 days away from now and 2 days away from this recording dropping away from the season beginning, and we are finally here. And I am so excited to be reporting for the Sun Devils at the game on Saturday night. And please follow me on X/Twitter at khicks_21 after this video. I will be frequently updating fans that might not be able to watch the game during the game on X. I will be posting some videos. I will be posting some pictures. I'll be doing a little bit of everything. So please give me a follow. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So, I just wanted to preface the beginning of the episode with the fact that there were scouts from multiple teams at Arizona State practice today once again. I believe there were scouts from the New England Patriots, the New Orleans Saints, the Buffalo Bills, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So some really, really high-level NFL franchises there. There's so much to be excited about, and obviously the scouts and NFL franchises are catching up to the fact that there is a lot of talent on this team, which is a perfect segue into the Sun Devils releasing their first official depth chart for the 2025 season. They did it on Tuesday night at about 11 p.m. Arizona time, but there's a lot of things that we expected to see. There's a lot of things that are interesting when you look at them at face value, and there's a couple of wrinkles that got thrown in. So let's dive right into it. I'm gonna give a little look at everything. So obviously QB1 is Sam Levitt, QB2 is Jeff Sims. There's no doubt about those two. But Christian Hunt officially won the QB3 job and over freshman Michael Butter Tollefson and four-star recruit Cameron Dyer, who has still yet to be fully cleared from his knee injury that he suffered last season as a senior in high school. It could be presumed that Dyer would be QB3 over Christian Hunt if he were healthy, but that's not the case, and Hunt has performed fairly well during fall camp, so he's earned that spot. And let's move to running back now. Running back is interesting, as Kyson Brown and Raleek Brown have both been named starters. I feel like that's more of an indication of them being starting caliber players, according to in the eyes of the coaching staff. And Kanye Udo, Man Robinson, and Jason Brown Jr. were all listed as backups, which means that there's a chance you see all three of them as well, especially Kanye Udo. I believe that he will see his lion's share of carries and a lion's share of, maybe not lion's share, a fair share of snaps in game, and he might be more prominent in certain matchups compared to others. We shall see there, but the running back room is in a great spot. I've frequently reported on the fact that even Jason Brown is showing explosiveness, and he's really popped off over the last couple of weeks in practice. Sean Aguano has done a phenomenal job once again, and I'm really, really excited to see what that group can do. Now for wide receivers, Jordan Tyson, Malik McClain, Jalen Moss, and Jaron Hamilton were all named as starters, with Harry Hassman, Noble Johnson, Derek Eusebio, and Corey Butler Jr. being named as backups for those respective four. Now, Jaron Hamilton got listed as a starter. I believe that is more of the Raleek Brown vein of naming them a starting caliber player instead of actually taking the first snap of the season. But that means that Jaron will get a lot of snaps, and he will be very, very involved in the offense, at least from my vantage point. Same with tight end. Kamari Anderson and Cameron Harple were both listed as starters alongside Shimon Mateer as well. And that could be play into the fact that the Sun Devils might be running 12 and 13 personnel this season. There are a lot of wrinkles that this offense could possibly show that people aren't even aware of yet. And the offensive line has shaken out as it was expected to. Minto Obigbo and Ben Coleman are starting. Coleman's at center and Obigbo is at left guard. And the offensive line should be a solid unit once again. There's not many holes we can poke. Let's see what Ben Coleman does in terms of snapping the ball, but should be in good hands. Now let's move to the defense. So Prince Dorba and Clayton Smith return as starting players off of the edge. CJ Fight and Jacob Rich-Kangaika are your defensive tackle starters. The thing that I thought was most interesting on the defensive line is that Ramar Williams is listed as the second string over Zach Swanson, even though defensive coordinator Brian Ward said that Swanson was in contention for a starting spot before he got injured in spring camp. That might just be Swanson's natural progression back to 100%, and there's a very real chance that he's getting a fair share of snaps himself as the season progresses, because he's been very impressive since he's come back from injury over the last week or two. Now I wanted to talk about the Sparky and the Devil packages positions on the depth chart. Justin Watley or Elijah O'Neal for the Sparky position, and Boogie Wilson with Jack Ball backing him up at the Devil position. Now obviously this is for a specific subset, for in terms of different alignments facing different offensive structures, different down and distance scenarios, all that stuff. But the fact that Justin Watley and Elijah O'Neal are both named as starters, and Boogie Wilson is named a starting level player on top of Xavier Alford and Miles Rouser as well, that is very, very encouraging. As Brian Ward told me when I asked him a question regarding that, it makes things so much easier when you have this many guys that can simply step up and contribute on a down-to-down basis. And that reigns true for the linebacker position, as Keyshawn Elliott and Jordan Crook are the starting linebackers. I don't believe there's a lot of doubt in that department, but they're listed as co-starters alongside Tate Romney and Cyrus Fiaseu, which I've said that Romney and Fiaseu are both very, very capable linebackers, and especially in the first game, it's probably going to be beneficial to rotate that position out more often. Even Crew Jackson, he's listed as an or on the third string. He could come in and contribute himself. There's just so much talent on this team, and there's a lot to look forward to. And, of course, last thing for the defense is that Montana Warren and Kendrick Breedlove are both listed as co-starters at the nickelback spot. I am inclined to believe that Montana Warren is probably going to end up being the starting player as the season progresses, just because he's built a little bit bigger. But Breedlove has impressed during fall camp, and he should very much be in the fold as well. Now for special teams, Kenyon Floyd and Matt McKenzie are listed as co-starters at punter. And long snapper is another co-starter situation between Cade Davis and Tyle Wigglesworth. So we'll see what happens there. And then kick returner and punt returner are another co-starter arrangement between Raleek Brown and Jalen Moss. So the fact that Arizona State feels great about either Raleek Brown or Jalen Moss returning kicks and punts, that's a very strong omen in my opinion. I've seen them both take kickoffs and punts. I believe that either or has the capacity to be explosive in that role, and I really could see one or the other making a couple of big plays on special teams during the 2025 season. And that's really all I had for my observations, my ultimate quick rapid reaction thoughts surrounding the official depth chart released for the Sun Devils ahead of Game 1. And really, there's only so much that you can find out after the first game of the season. Mississippi State probably will give you a better idea of how things are going to shake out over the duration of the entire season. And that's all I really have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I will see you all tomorrow, and we are almost to the beginning of the Arizona State season, and I could not be more excited. Thank you so much.